Here we go. Can't believe I'm doing this again. After my last video, the one which I ended in tears, I thought I'm never ever gonna do these live videos again. But yet here I am. And I was hoping today's one could be over Google Meet just for a more interactive experience. Yeah, let me go and know if you guys are watching and if you've tuned in or but yeah, welcome. Let me first start off with an introduction. Maybe for those of you who are watching one of my videos for the first time today. My name is Mart-Mari. I'm a very happily married mom of 4, and I hope one of my kids are not going to run in here at the moment because my husband is planning to take them somewhere for ice cream or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm a mom of 4 and I work as a software engineer. During the period February 2017 to December 2019, so that's December last year, I've lost 80 kilograms on the Weigh Less program. Those that are good at maths will have quickly calculated that it took me 2 years and 10 months to lose that 80 kilogram. I'm also a repeat offender. This was my second time on Weigh Less. The first time, and now they're already popping in here. Okay, let Audrey just say hi and then say hi, Audrey. Okay. Okay, my mama's not okay. Walk her too. Sorry about that. Yeah, during the period, yes, so yeah, it took me 2 years and 10 months to lose that 80 kilogram. It was also my second time on Weigh Less. I lost well the first time around as well. I lost about almost 40 kilograms the first time around, but I regained that. Of course, I've lost another 80 kilograms the second time around. But besides these 2 times, I've yo-yo dieted a lot in my life with big losses and then just gaining all that weight back with interest again. Yes, I hope I'm live because nobody is commenting. But anyway, so yes, while I was still on my weight loss journey, the one that I've lost 80 kilograms on, I've already started doing open meeting talks, and one of my goals for this year was to get to as many groups as possible to tell my story. And at one stage at the beginning of this year, that goal was well on track, with a talk every 2 to 3 weeks. But with lockdown, these talks was of course not possible anymore. So I started doing these online videos over Facebook. I did 4 of them, and today's talk was the first one I was going to try and do over Google Meet. I hate this thing that where you feel like you're talking into the void and there's no interaction back. So I was hoping for a more interactive experience this time, but we did a dry run with the Google Meet app on Wednesday, and then we realized we couldn't record because I only have a personal account. So I reverted back to the Facebook Live video. I've also started my page or my blog about 2 months ago, so I can have a central place for all my writings, which I enjoy doing. And I enjoy people reading them and commenting on there. So today's talk is about emotional eating. So let me first start off by confessing that I never ever thought of myself as an emotional eater. I believe in control, and I always have everything, including all my emotions, under control. Yes, I wanted to say if you've got any questions, feel free to post them in the comment box, and I'll see if I can get to them at the end of this talk. But yes, I believe in control. And I believe in having everything under control. Everything is planned, and I always felt that that helps with being a mom of 4, because you need to be in control of it. Otherwise, they're just gonna walk over you. But yes, I always thought my weight problem was purely a lack of knowledge or a lack of well-formed healthy eating habits. See, when I was a child, I was already overweight. I walked into grade 1 as a very overweight child. Both my parents were overweight. I grew up on a traditional Afrikaans diet of rice, potatoes, stewed meat, cold bazaar puddings, or baked bazaar puddings, and vegetables always had butter and sugar added to it and tasted like dessert. I see someone commented, oh, so maybe someone can actually see my videos. But yeah, see, there was no problem with my emotions or so I thought. I blamed all my problems with my weight, I blamed on my upbringing. However, during the lockdown, I started working with a therapist to talk about my sister's suicide and other things from my childhood. But one of the biggest fears I have is regaining the 80 kilogram that I've lost. And with reason, I mean, I am a yo-yo dieter. That's what I always do. I always lose and then I pick up again. So we tried to work on that fear as well. The first time we talked about this fear, he said that the answer is so simple. I simply have to understand what it is that caused me to pick up the weight in the first place. If I can understand that, then I will realize that I'm not that person who picked up the 80 kilogram and I shouldn't have any fear of regaining it. To which I replied, but I've always been overweight. So there was never a before person. There wasn't someone that didn't pick up the 80 kilograms, if that makes sense. So whenever I did lose a bit, I always regain it. So, and that's why I have this fear. And then he said, but in that case, I've got to figure out what are the emotions that cause me to compulsively eat. And I was like, my what? My emotions? No, it's not my emotions that cause me to eat. I'm not an emotional eater. But he insisted that I cannot simply, it's one of those, oh, but you are. And then I'm, no, I'm not. And he said, but you are. Yeah, so he insisted I cannot simply, as a logical human being, decide to start compulsively eat and sabotage myself and my weight loss efforts. The problem had to be with my emotions, and I should try to list the emotions that get me to the point where I feel that I might as well just eat. So that's what I've been trying to do for what feels like weeks already, and it's probably more like months already. In the beginning, I used to list things like feeling helplessness or feeling overwhelmed. But the clearest example of this I had one particular Thursday. One of the things my husband's work started doing over the lockdown was an online cook-along sessions. So this particular Thursday was our first time joining these sessions, and we were going to cook a beef Wellington with a parsnip puree and a red wine jus. We had purchased all our ingredients for this cook-along, and as I always do, I got all my ingredients and everything ready for that evening's meal before I started my work day. This is something I do every day because I'm responsible for cooking during the week. I get everything that I need for the evening's meal out and ready out of the freezer or refrigerator, and I chop up my veggies if I need to, and I get everything ready so that afternoon or later I can just cook. I don't need to prep. So I do all my, what do you call it, mise en place. I do in the morning already before I start my work day. So I did that for that evening's meal. So I got everything ready. And as I came to sit at this desk, this is where I work, okay? As I came to sit at this desk, the notifications of load shedding started pouring in. And I think that was the first round of load shedding we had after the lockdown or since the lockdown. So it was totally unexpected, and as luck would have it, our power was going to be off that evening, which meant that we weren't going to be able to join the cook-along. So, and I started panicking. What was I now going to make for supper? I didn't plan for a plan B. I only had a plan A. And if I were to keep my already bought ingredients for the next day, what would I make with them? I had no idea how to make a beef Wellington, a parsnip puree, or a red wine jus. I know now, but back then I didn't know. So I looked at that ESP app, the part that says, check your schedule, plan your day, and I thought of a few non-school words. I better not say during an online talk. But I mean, seriously, already had my day planned. And in the uncertainty of that moment, in the panicness of that moment, I got up from this desk. I walked to my kitchen and I was looking for something to eat. I just had breakfast. I wasn't hungry. There was no logical reason for me to want to eat something then. And then I realized my therapist was right. He normally is. I just argue with him at times to make myself feel better. But I am an emotional eater. And ever since then, things have started falling more and more into place. Yeah, Taylor Swift says in one of her songs, the autumn leaf falls like pieces into place. I don't know if the jacaranda flowers can fall like pieces into place, but yeah, just things have started becoming more and more clear to me. And I realized that I've got some serious control issues. Serious like in, I will pick up 80 kilograms again with interest if I cannot figure out how to solve these issues. No jokes, I absolutely need to be in control of a situation, and if I'm not, then I try to make up for that feeling by eating. I literally try to stuff my emotional black holes with food. And I cannot blame my weight problems anymore on a lack of knowledge. Wales have given me all the information I'll ever need on what healthy balanced eating is. I cannot blame my problems anymore on bad habits. I had more than 3 years now to form good, healthy habits. And with these control issues, I also realized why I do so well on a diet. A diet tells me exactly what I need to do. And I love that. I love that control and rules and steps and instructions and structure, and that's control. That's a plan, and I like a plan. My problems come when the moment when I'm not in control. And the sole reason why I've been able to maintain my loss thus far is because I still follow my formula. I still weigh regularly, daily if I feel I need to. I still control my weight by my own strong willpower. I'm basically still on a diet. And my heart longs to be in a place where I can just be. Where I don't have to worry or obsess about everything that I eat. Where I can weigh once a month and not be anxious about it. I tried an experiment in the beginning of September. I weighed myself on the 1st of September, which was a Tuesday. For my group, I normally weigh on the 1st Tuesday of the month. And my plan was to only weigh myself again on the 1st Tuesday in October, which would now be this coming Tuesday. But this mission failed miserably because about 2 weeks in, I thought I just wanted to see what was going on the weight front, so I got on my scale. And it wasn't good news, it was like 200 grams or something small up. But for me that wasn't good at all. So I started weighing every day again, and every morning, and some afternoons as well for good measure. And that is what I'm still doing at the moment. It's terrible, I know, but I feel like I cannot let that grudge go or things will get out of control. And the strangest thing is, right at the very start of my therapy journey, my therapist made this statement to me. Remember, he was basically still a stranger to me then. Me and my husband enrolled for one of his courses, and through this course, he started noticing things, and then he made a recommendation that I come and see him. So I was basically still a stranger to him, but he said it must be so tiring to always be so perfect at everything. He wants to know how I handle failure and what happens when I fail. And I basically told him that I don't start anything that I know I will fail. And if I do start something, then I will be successful at it. I won't stop until I am. Yeah, I was a stranger to him then, and he knew nothing about me, and yet he knew everything. Yeah, I must be wearing a big sign or something on my forehead. Yeah, he just let me figure it out for myself over the past 5 months or so. So now the question, everyone is possibly wondering is where to from here. At this stage, we are focusing on where these control issues come from. Unfortunately, the solution to my control problem is not to just make sure that I'm always in control, because it is tiring. I cannot keep on doing this. At one stage, I'm going to give up. And this is not a way to live. I cannot always be in control. I have to figure out why this is so important to me. And it's been like this for many, many, many years. And these things have deep, deep, deep root causes. It's so deeply rooted in my soul. And we are scratching these things open and trying to heal them one by one. My therapist keeps talking about these things being my emotional black holes, that I need to find them and heal them and close them or fill them up with something that's not food. The only trauma that can be healed is that which is acknowledged. Oh, yes, and this process is difficult. It hurts so much to do this. It's just, yeah. Some days I don't even want to do this, but I can feel it helping. And time again, I've come back to C.S. Lewis's quote, which says, "We do not have a soul, we are a soul. We have a body." For years, I've been trying to fix my body by sheer willpower. And where has that brought me? Just years of pain and frustration and yo-yo dieting. And for the first time, I realized that my body, or what was wrong with my body, was just a physical representation of what was wrong with my soul. And for the first time, I'm addressing my soul. And somehow I think that is where the answer has always lied. And I feel positive that if I can heal my emotional black holes, then I will fix my control issues and my weight problem as well. And what does this mean to the rest of you? So I've been talking about my own issues for a long time now. And ever since I started doing my first round of videos, my inbox has been mad, like really mad. But I've come to realize that there are so many emotional eaters out there also in denial. Just because we are not the whole tub of ice cream or chocolate slap and tears type of emotional eater doesn't make us any less of an emotional eater. There are people out there who struggle so much with accepting any form of control. They actively reject control. They just want to be free. They don't want to be bound by rules or structure or anything. They want to be free. And these people struggle so much just sticking to a diet. They eat because they want to do whatever they want. They want nobody to tell them what they can and cannot do, not even themselves. And this is also a type of emotional problem. There is a reason why you feel that you just want to do whatever the heck you want. Then there are people who eat because they are lonely or bored or intensely sad or bitter. And I want to challenge you to do the following. Next time when you, like me, find yourself eating or looking for something to eat when you're not hungry, or continuing to eat when you know you already had enough, try to jot down what happened just before that moment. What were your emotions? What were the sequence of events that made you feel the way that you did? What were you thinking? What were you feeling? Even if you already ate whatever you ate, even if it's afterwards, just try to find those causes. And over time, you should see some form of a pattern emerging, or it might just hit you one day like it did for me. The purpose of this exercise is to perform an introspection and to be more self-aware. And then, once you've found these reasons or emotions, see if you can determine their root causes. What happened in your life that causes you to react this way? It might be something that happened when you were still a child, which a lot of my issues actually come from that. So it might be years that you've struggled with this. And that you later on you think, this is just who I am, this is part of my personality. I can't change it, but it's not the case. You can go back, and you can go and heal those emotional black holes. I hope today's talk meant something to you, even if it's just to be a bit more self-aware and to not only focus on body, body, body and weight, weight, weight all the time, but also sometimes soul, soul, soul. Last night I posted an update on my page. I said, being obese is such a difficult problem to have because you can take a break from a hectic life. You can go on holiday for a week or two, but you cannot take a break from being obese. You cannot say, right, for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be thin. I'm going to put my obese life behind me just for these 2 weeks and just take a break from it. It doesn't work that way. The only thing you can do is to hope, and hope that by some grace and some extreme willpower and some self-knowledge, some introspection, something, you can find a solution to your problem. And it's going to take time. And the only thing I can offer, the only thing that I can offer from my side and on my page is hope. Hope that that even if you've got so much as 80 kilograms to lose, that it is possible. You can absolutely do it. I'm living proof that you can lose 80 kilograms and look the way I do and have a happy and a fruitful and fulfilling life. And I can offer a an ear to listen, and I can offer an understanding heart. I hope you enjoyed the talk. I hope there's some questions on the side. Let's quickly see, and then if there isn't, you don't like Zoom. I also don't have a professional Zoom account, so yes, all these people, they make it so difficult for me. I don't ask anything for these talks, and yeah, so I've got my personal Google account and my personal Zoom account, but they feel so full of restrictions. Like Zoom, I know you can only have a limited number of people if you're on a personal account, and then you also limited in time. After 45 minutes it cuts you off. So want to now listen to you. Okay, I think there isn't any questions, not that I see. I want to thank you guys so much for listening to me. I tried to keep this talk a bit shorter than my previous talks, because last time someone said these talks are too long. But anyway, you must have a great Saturday afternoon further. And yeah, if you've got any questions, still feel free to comment them. I will get to them later on as well. I will answer them. But thank you, and keep well.